we're gonna start with this image and we're gonna try to make it look better. What we can see is a bit blurry. It doesn't look very nice, this part of this image. I'm gonna press now Command F or Control F and we can see it in full window. So yeah, here is maybe too much light, here is too blurry. It doesn't look very elegant. It also looks like there's no color standing up, really, like too plain everything, no? So we're gonna try to make it look better. First, what we're gonna do is add more than one node, because I wanna apply concrete modifications, okay? And I want each mode to represent these concrete modifications, okay? So first, what I'm gonna do is press Option S, or in PC is Alt S. So I'm gonna create node, and here we have node number 2. So I'm gonna create 4 to start with. And now I can select them all, okay? I'm gonna put it in the center. What I do is 4, and this next one, if there's a 5th one, I would put it here, okay? And like this. So lines of 4 nodes. Then also this, remember, you can just change it, okay? And the way is more comfortable for you to work, okay? Here we have our first still image, which I'm gonna show you now how you create your still image. Remember that we talk about keeping this continuity. So for example, we have this one here, this one of the metro, and this metro, and then these stairs. But so you can see there's difference of light in these edits, okay? And also, so we're gonna try create a bit this continuity, okay, in these images. They look like they're part of the same video, that they all match a bit in a way. They have a relation. So let's start with this one. We created our first 4 nodes, and now what I'm gonna do is name them. So I'm gonna right click to my first node, select first, and as you can see, when it's selected this in this red overlay, select node label. So now that we have our 4 nodes, the 4 nodes, as you can see, well, I didn't mention it, but when a node is selected, you can just see it with this red overline. And also, when they are all selected, you see there's the one you have selected and the other ones are in white, but they are still selected. And to deselect them all, just press any left click any place of the square. So here we're gonna name this one. We're gonna right click to this one, and we're gonna node label, and we're gonna press color grading. We're gonna write color grading 1, and in this one we're gonna also, and we're gonna put contrast. So this is gonna be a modification of contrast. This we're gonna name it color temperature or color balance, as you like. We have color grading 1, contrast, and color balance. Okay, so we're gonna start with color grading 1, and here what we're gonna see is a bit is these scopes, okay, this waveform. We're gonna take a look at the waveform. Obviously this represents this part of the image, okay, and this, that as you can see is pretty white, is this light here, okay. So here there's these white stripes, has more light in here too, okay, because of the reflections. So first what we're gonna try to do is to just move this bar above our lift, and we're gonna move it to the right, so we have a bit more information of our darkest places of the image. As you can see now, this is not as dark. So we lift it up and we try to maintain this margin of 2, and also on top. So what I also see here is that on top there is these things here in our waveform that I think has too much light. So I'm probably now gonna just my gamma, I'm gonna turn it a bit down. And again, if I turn it up, it's gonna burn my image. So I'm gonna turn it also a bit to the left, not a lot though. Not a lot. Wait. Yeah. Something like this. Now contrast, I think it needs more contrast, this image now. So I go here, and just add some contrast. And as you can see, there's some difference already. Now, are we doing it right? Are we doing it right? Don't you think it was better when you started? There's a way to see it. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna first press Command D, and as you can see, well, Command or Control D, we just blocked this node, okay, the one of our contrast. So we can see what was before we applied this node. But now we also have this selected. I mean, this is not blocked, this one neither, but we haven't made any modifications yet, and neither this one. So how do I do it so this one also is blocked? So we just can select both of them, and we press also Command D or Control D. And if we want to block them all, Option D, we show them all again, and Option D, we block them all. Option D, Option D. And Option is Alt in Windows. This is a very good way to work, so you know that how you are affecting the image. Here, for example, I think we did too much. We put too much contrast, so I'm just gonna bring it all the way down. If you wanna restart these things, very easy. Double click here. You can also write, okay, but I'm gonna do it like this. I think like this of contrast is gonna be alright. Then here, these highlights, I don't like it neither. In this, I know we said we are gonna only do the contrast, so here I'm gonna turn down a bit this in our color grading one, these highlights too. Okay, so we don't have excess of highlights. Nice. Now color balance. Color balance, what I'm gonna do first is change my waveform to parade, and here I can see clear my colors. But I can also do one thing in general, that is to make my white color balance, and this is just by clicking here in our primary wheels. We click here, white balance, and we're gonna look for a place in the image that is white, and it's gonna be, I think, this one. It doesn't do much because it's pretty well white balance, this image. Okay, so is fine. But for example, we're gonna go to another that maybe is not this one, is absolutely not white balance. Balance. We're gonna take this white balance. We're gonna put it in the paper, and as we can see, it changes. So important to to make your white balance. Here is the white balance of the light. We want the one of the paper. Okay, we're giving it a reference of white balance. Okay, in this image you can notice much more than in this one. Okay, so now we know this, but even though I think it's a bit poor, this color, so maybe I bring the saturation a bit up in here. This is color balance, but it's fine. And then also what I'm gonna do is here I'm gonna read this, and I can see here this red can be more alienated to this green. Also, I be careful because the red is in the stairs really. So maybe we're gonna move our red gamma a bit to blue. Okay, so it's not that much, and we still have this cold of the metal. Okay, so we bring the saturation a bit up. Now I'm gonna bring it a bit down though, and we just move this wheel, this gamma wheel. Here we go. So color balance done. Okay. Another thing that I didn't like of this, well, again, we can do this full screen, Command F or Control F, and also we can press Option D, and we can see it before and after. Before and after. You see that now has more the colors, has more definition. You know, before everything too bright, too plain, and now we have a bit more quality. Okay, it's a bit darker now too. So again, I'm gonna go back here, and I think I'm gonna just put the highlights less. Okay, you can always go back to the notes you did before. I'm gonna put the highlights like this, and that's it. I'm gonna leave it here. Now color here also. More things that we can do with our in this square of the primaries. Color boost. This boosts the color up. Okay, so if I do this, you see it's very exaggerated now. Okay, in terms, if you wanna reset this, double click the text and it's reset. Hue also changes the relationship of the colors. You see this, you can do it here to hue versus hue. You can see, cool. Okay, and again reset all.